The time you most need to be able to get a fire going is when it's cold and wet. But of course, these are the hardest times to succeed. If you want to know how to succeed, keep watching. So it's all about preparation. You need to have the right fuel ready to go. So 3 things you need to have right. It needs to be just matchstick thin, snappable. So if it doesn't make that nice crisp snapping sound, if it bends at all, discard it. And thirdly, it needs to be off the ground. So take it from amongst the trees. There's usually loads of it hanging about, not from the ground. And you need a good, decent sized pile, and then double it. Get another one. Second one, if it's got some slightly thicker bits mixed in, okay, not the end of the world, because we're basically going up through the gears. It's just like riding a bike or driving a car. If you want to succeed, you don't go from first gear to sixth gear. You go up through the gears. So that's what we got here. And we're out to our biggest stuff. The biggest stuff, I've actually just split some of that down, and then I've used some of what I've split as part of my fire lay, because that gives me a nice flat platform. The bit at the back there is giving me some space for when I put that kindling on, so I'm not smothering the flame that I've got. Actually, the very first thing that I've collected well in advance is some birch bark, and I've got enough of this, and I put it in my pockets to warm up and dry it out. Different bits in different pockets spread around my body. You can do the same thing with kindling. If it's really wet, I recommend doing the same thing. Just use your body heat to get it as dry as possible. Obviously, if it's pouring with rain, the other thing you need to do is get a shelter up. Fortunately today, although it has been very wet recently, so everything is saturated, the ground's soaking wet and all the rest of it, actually it's quite a nice day for once. Rarity this year so far. But yeah, nonetheless, you'll notice I've got everything well off the ground. That's really, really important. I made a much longer video the other day about lighting fires in damp conditions, and it was actually raining that day, so it's a bit more authentic in a way. But just as I got the birch bark going, was about to add on the kindling, the button for my camera, the remote button, little thing like that, which was in my pocket, I leaned forward and somehow managed to stop recording. So the moment of truth, when it all went up like a rocket, was lost. So I thought I'd better put that right. But other than that, it's a good video. If you want to see the full process, collection, preparation, site selection, thinking about different types of wood and all of that stuff, then please check out my other video. Also, if you just want to watch me gadding about in the woods for a bit longer, then yeah, I recommend it, and I'll put a link. Okay, so it's time to scrape some bark. We're good to go. So carefully now, I'm placing that. And the reason for having the second bundle is I don't really know where that fire is going to go exactly. So once something's caught, I'll know where to add the next layer, and we go from there. All that smoke, it's because it's so damp. Even though it's snapping, there's still a lot of moisture on the outside. It's just got to be driven off. That's why I didn't stint on the birch bark. Use plenty of it. You've got to give this a chance to get going. Now finally we've got some leaping flames. I'm going to add that next layer on carefully right in the heart of that. I don't want to put too much force on there. What I can do if necessary is give it a little bit more space. It's a good thing about having two bundles, so I can use one to help the next. Okay, now have the next layer. Again, you might want to just create a bit of space in there. It's all about using our knowledge of the fire triangle, making sure you've got enough heat, air and fuel, the right mix to drive that moisture off. Once the flames are roaring, I really need to use them, so I'm ready with the next level up. Seems about right. I need to use that heat while I've got it. It's all about assessing which is the hottest part of the fire. Where should I be adding that wood? If you add too much wet, cold wood in the beginning, then guess what? You're going to take away the heat from that fire triangle, and chances are you'll put the fire out. So there you have it, folks. If you want to succeed, you need to do the full preparation. Even then, you've got to manage that fire. It's not about just getting a spark into a little flame on a bit of birch bark. That's just the start. All right, thanks for watching.